you and I are a couple committees together. We know workforce development is the buzz phrase. I think in every industry, it certainly is in ours. So we've talked about that, but Khalil and I just did a podcast with Professor Satchel Josephson out of Bemidji, who really is a great job on the design that school.
That outfit, talk about that, the outfit with the jacket.
Well, so he, apparently he's a general in the Space Force. We did learn based on the patches, and and Satchel, if you're listening, I saw you earned your Weeblo patch, so congratulations up from Cub Scout, Pack 36-10-5. You're now a Weeblo. Great job. No, but you know what he did? He reminded us we're all focused on attracting and bringing in new talent, and that's chapter 1 and 2 of the story, and everybody wants to run out and help do that. Satchel was reminding us in there's a chapter 5, 6, and 7, and that is the development of the workforce. And this is to your point about creating the service culture. It's not enough to just bring people in. When are we going to, move to the next chapters and say, okay, how do we get together and not just, yes, safety is important and risk is important. And, but we have the people that we have, we've got to coach them up and train them up. And it's not just on the process stuff. It's on the soft skills. It's about making those visitors, those sponsors feel good about their decision to come to Dallas or come to this show. And if somebody walks off with your box of giveaways, care about, that's a big deal. And maybe they don't understand all that goes into the show, but man, if you feel you don't have anything to hand those prospects or those guests when they come in, and that's, in your mind, a big part of your strategy, don't blow me off and say, go to Kinko's, right? I totally agree with that. So I look forward to our stakeholders, organizers, generals, EACs. How do we continue to work together? I think the exhibitor show, I love what they do with their CTSM training program, but they're also creating a track for industry people because they too recognize the challenge with what you and I are talking about right now. So love that we're seeing people put some resources into, but we gotta do it. We can't just talk about it, right? It's time to do it.
Yeah. Chris, let's talk about chapter 8, 9, and 10. Retention.
Uh-oh.
You got the door, you trained them.
Yeah. Well, right.
I just had this conversation with one of my colleagues, a shout out to Mr. Mark Murphy. We just talked about this an hour ago and it wasn't related to this at all. But when people leave, a lot of times it's really simple. They just didn't like working there. And it's generally not the money. They don't notice that as much when they're happy at what they do. And so creating a service culture also helps the most important part, retention, right? And we all know the stat, training an employee costs you yada, yada, but retaining an employee, you're saving money. So that has to be the next big part we focus on. And burnout's a real thing. I don't have a solution for that here. No big shocker on that. We have a lot of work and not enough people, but retaining them. And you can just retain people by creating a service culture where you're in service to the people that you have the honor of working with. And that's how you should see it.